I met this stripper who worked at T-Mobile. I'm sorry, bro. Dancer who worked at T-Mobile. It was during the week I was visiting New Orleans because my friend recently got married or had his official ceremony. It's a long story, but one of the groomsmen got robbed, and we had to get him a new phone. So we're at T-Mobile. There's this really pretty dancer, man. And I know she was a dancer because she ended up telling me like she used to work in that scene. She showed me her daughter. She showed me videos of her in Miami. And basically we were talking, and she ended up telling me to live my life because something only one person can fit in the casket when you die. I don't know. The point she was trying to make is that I don't do anything with my life currently, so I can do anything. And I told her, well, I do make videos, I do want to make music, but I feel like I'm too old to make the music I want to make. We talked about my career a little bit, and she was like, if I was in your shoes, I would be out of here. I would be out the country, living my best life. And I was like, it looks like you're already living your best life. And she laughed. She was like, yeah, I travel as much as I can, and I love to cook. And, although I have all of that going on, I still have time to do art on the side. And I thought about it, and I was like, damn, people are really out here just doing random shit that just makes them happy. And here I am. This isn't like a woe is me type of video, but this is truly my life. Everybody has their own life. Everybody has their own like thing they're doing or working on or trying to do. Most people around my age, 26, they're getting married. They're having kids. They're trying to start their own life, and I'm starting to realize like how individualistic the world is in general. Like, I thought this shit was a game until I sat there and I thought about it. But the dancer gave me advice, and the advice was just like, get out there and live your life. Like, you have to do something, right? Or you'll go crazy being cooped up inside. And there's moments where I'm inside and I actually don't feel alone. And then there's moments where I know something is supposed to happen, but I know it's not going to happen. And that's what makes me feel very, very alone. I was talking to this girl when I was like, I think 18, 19 years old. I had to be 18. And this was around like the SoundCloud era. I need to make a video about the SoundCloud era in general, because how old heads talk about how the 80s and 90s was like the craziest time ever. That's going to be our time where we're like, yeah, those were the best years. I think 2015 to 2018 was like insane. But this was around that time, and I told this girl, yeah, by the time I'm 25, I'm going to be a millionaire. Like, I'm not going to lie, I'm almost to that goal. I'm saying this not as a brag, but as like somebody who I don't even think is that impressive anymore. Because what you have to do to get to that point is such a sad existence. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. It's a very sad existence to dedicate your entire life to investing and saving as much as you can, because it's lonely. Nobody wants to be around somebody like that. And I think because I chase freedom so much, I've ran a lot of people out of my life because I've come to the conclusion that I'm just not a fun person. Like, even when the dancer was talking to me about things that I could be doing to have more fun, I'm thinking in my head, don't you think I've already thought about these things? Don't you think, like, I know how to spend my money wisely or spend it in a way where I can go, damn, I had fun for about a week and then move on with my life? I've thought about that. I just don't want to do it because I don't find it fun. And it can't be orchestrated. It can't be like curated to fit this certain aesthetic of the person that I think I want to be. It has to be something that just happens to me. That's why we get so much like nostalgic moments that appear in our mind from places like elementary school and hanging out with family back in the day, because those moments happen to you outside of your control, because the world is structured in a way where institutions create memories for you. And after you turn a certain age, after you move through life with a certain trajectory, if you end up doing the right things that people tell you to do, you will notice that your life becomes bland naturally. Even if those around you think you're doing extraordinary, like people around you are saying like, great job, you're doing a great job, like keep up the good work, you will feel deep down in your heart that like you're probably not living the life that you should be living. If you're anything like me, I guess. I thought about joining the church again because I used to be super religious when I was younger. Like I used to like pray to God in my bed and be like, Lord, like if you make this thing go away, I swear to God, I will crawl on my knees to the church butt naked. Like I will never do this again. I used to like make crazy pacts with God, and um I don't know. I guess my point is that, I was super religious when I was younger, and I stopped participating in the church because I felt like the people that were involved in religion, right, they were evil. I felt like the pastor driving off in his Mercedes BMW. Actually, I can't believe I just said that, but I feel like the pastor that goes home to his really big house and he's preaching to his congregation that's giving him thousands of dollars per week. Like, there's something off about that, right? There's something off about Joel Osteen asking people to buy $100 water bottles. There's something off about people that are supposed to be the vessels of God having helicopters and private jets and shit. So I saw through that illusion early on in life. And, people that do have faith, right, they'll say, well, religion is man-made anyway and it's evil and you shouldn't follow it. You should follow God. I completely agree. And that's why I'm trying to get a relationship with him again, because I'm fried, bro. Like I'm truly, this is going to be the first time in my life that I've truly lived alone, and I'm so scared. I'm 2 hours away from my parents. It's actually kind of freeing, but just terrifying, because like I think about this cat I got, and I'm like, what if I die? Who would help the cat? And I know you can't live in like these what if scenarios, but the people that constantly say you can't live in these like what if scenarios are primarily the people that I never want to be like. If you look at the financial institutions that control our world, if you look at other aspects of society that exist that allow us to form fabrics that we believe in intersubjectively to keep our sanity, the people or operators at the center of that type of control do believe in plan B, C's, D's, right? That's why quantitative analysis even exists as a field. There's actual people on Wall Street who went to Princeton whose job is to basically guess with highly technological mathematical tools based on assumption, based on risk assessment and management. The people at the center of the power in our society today, they do everything but live in the now. Yes, nepotism is involved in some cases. Yes, people get lucky in life. 9 times out of 10, if you're born in a certain class, you're going to die in that class, statistically speaking. But if you really want to make it out, of the class you're in, you have to make the right choices. And that's what scares me the most. That's what holds me back. Because it's like, yes, I believe in living, but like, can you imagine surviving and you made the wrong choices? Like you actually lived to 95 years old, but you spent your entire life having fun.